Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we are not doing nails, as you can see from the thumbnail and the title and literally every part of this video. Today we're doing just another arts and crafts. I'm pretty sure everyone and their mother knows what Ouran High School Host Club is. If you don't, well, learn it. I don't know what to tell you. Everybody should know. Who is your favorite character of Ouran High School? Mine is Hikaru because he's voiced by Todd Haberkorn, and Todd Haberkorn is like my favorite English voice actor of all time. When I was younger, I used to think, oh my gosh, he's in everything I love. He must be destined to be my favorite. And then I actually grew up and I realized it's not that he's in everything I love. He's just in everything, period. I mean, still a great voice actor though. So today I am upcycling my old alarm clock. I've had it for years. It's old and black and dull. Nothing wrong with black. I'm black. No, but seriously, I just wanted to make it more pretty and colorful, just like everything else in my life. And instead of just, painting it and decorating it with stickers or whatever, I decided to actually build off of it with clay that I made from scratch. I'm going to link the tutorial that I learned this from because it's so freaking cool and it actually works so well. It's air dry clay that you can make from scratch. It's a bit finicky and it'll turn out really cracky if you make it wrong, but if you make it right, it works so well. I'll link it and I'll show you how I made it. Okay, so I high-key just eyeballed all of the ingredients, which is exactly what you're not supposed to do. But oh look, I made a mess. So it's basically baking soda and cornstarch and water. You stir it up. I'm linking the tutorial, obviously, the real tutorial. Here's me just finagling it. This batch turned out really bad. My last batch turned out perfect. This one, not so good. You'll see it. So when you see all these bubbles, that's how you know it's all thick and good and ready. You're supposed to stir it up. Here's where I went wrong. I did not stir it up. I just kept putting it in the corner, which you're supposed to do, but you have to continuously stir it up, or else you'll get little pockets of cornstarch. And if there's little pockets of cornstarch, that means everything else is just watery gunk. So when I opened it up and tried to use it, it was way too watery. Look, you'll see you're supposed to put it in a moist washcloth for a while, wait 20 minutes or so, and let it sit in a moist washcloth until, or at least till it just dries. And then you'll see it does not change very much. It looks a lot like coconut oil. It felt like actual phlegm, so you can watch me try and knead it oh, it'll get better. So I just added a bunch of cornstarch, but there was still a bunch of pockets in the middle, so it cracked a lot, and I knew it would crack a lot, but I decided to use it to my favor, and you'll see how. So here is the plain, boring alarm clock. I lost the back of it, and you'd think, maybe I should tape that off so I don't get anything on it. Nope, I didn't. Oh, I dropped it. Cool. So, okay, it's all good. It's all good. So the first thing I did was sand it down because I really wanted the clay to stick to it, and I also, you'll see me using glue right before I stick a lot of things on it, a lot of heavy pieces on it, just so it doesn't fall off. Spoiler alert, I drop it several times and each piece ends up falling off anyway, and I have to hot glue them all back on, but whatever. So the base of this whole thing was basically supposed to be a stone pillar, right? So I was like, oh, I'm such a genius. This is definitely going to crack anyway, especially because I'm probably going to need to use a lot of water to mold it the way I want to, because this stuff dries so quickly. So I was like, it's gonna crack anyway. Stone pillar, you know, stones have cracks. Stones can crack, so like yeah, so I sort of tried to replicate a really old stone pillar, and then to use the cracks to my favor. You'll see how this works, but then I accidentally make a mistake. So I knew I couldn't rely on the cracks alone. I mean, I could have. It did crack, but like I said, I wanted to be a stone pillar, and so to make it more realistic, I added these divots. I divided them all up, and then I put even more divots in between each smaller divots to look like a lined stone pillar. Literally just googled cartoon stone pillar and just try to replicate what I saw. So I knew I wanted a flower or some figures on top or something like that, so I needed more space, you know, more surface area to work with. So I repeated that same process except for the lines on top. I realized I didn't really add that much more space, so you'll see at the end I like lengthened the sides of the pillar platform. What mighty figure shall sit atop this pillar, which causes me to lengthen it? Usa-chan! You will see me, I created all of his little stumpy cylindrical limbs, and then I just scored them and then stuck them together with water. His ears, I actually used the bad clay by accident, and I was like, you know, it won't matter. It did matter. You'll see it crack a little on his head. It's fine. I fix it with hot glue in the end, and a lot of toothpicks. Dang, I really thought I was in frame for this scene. Anyway, these little flowers were so fun and easy to make. Basically, you make each petal by rolling up a ball and then smushing it. You make them all different sizes, getting bigger. And then each petal you wrap around the previous one and make sure you feather out the ends a bit so that it flares out like a real flower. And it's so easy and so fun and looks so good. And I made these out of the good clay, of course, so these don't crack, along with Usa-chan. So just ignore my travel size deodorant bowling in the background. I wasn't even going to give myself the chance to allow myself to think that I could clay dry the figures onto the clay. So that's me just you know, hot gluing everything together. As you can see, the good clay did not crack, and the bad clay plus water did crack. Here's me putting Usa-chan's little bow on. Oh, and now let's get into the painting. Most of my gray painting videos got deleted somehow. I'm sure you're devastated. I'm sure you're so upset that you can't watch me coloring gray all over the entire stone pillar. I'm sure that's the most exciting part of the video for you. I'm so sorry. My least favorite part of this whole process was mixing up this Ouran purpley blue, which is actually like one of my favorite colors. But it was really hard to mix up to get exactly like the coat, and I don't know, it looks good like on camera to me. If you disagree, I'm just gonna say it looks like it in real life, but it truthfully looks the same as it does in the video. But I'm gonna say it looks exactly the same as the Ouran blazers. Here's me painting little Usa-chan. His color was also really hard to mix up, especially because I wasn't sure what to like mix him up with. Basically, there are like so many versions of him. There's like the actual real life that you can buy. There's him in the show, and then there's also like pictures of him, official pictures of him and drawings of him with this sort of beigey color. So I don't know. And then his little bow was red. The same issue. It was like a different color depending on where you looked at him. Sometimes he doesn't even have a bow. So I don't know. The flowers were really fun to paint. I made the inside a little darker to add, I don't know, depth. I don't know what I was thinking. It looks so dope, so I'm not even mad about it. But yeah, I painted the roses the same color as Usa-chan's bow, evidently, because I thought, you know, it fit in so well. You also didn't see me make those leaves. There are like a lot of leaves. I do end up painting those leaves, obviously. So, yeah. This was the most stressful part. I had to somehow, like, try and replicate the little markings that were on the clock before I painted it. Luckily, I took a picture. Like, I literally took a picture right when I started painting. I was like, oh snap, wait, let me take a picture. So I remembered what was on each little button, and it was really hard to try and replicate it. I used a dotting tool because, I don't know, I felt like trying to get really opaque colors on such a small scale is better using like dotting tools and toothpicks and things like that, other than actual brushes, which can, like, any wrong move and it like slides over to the other side and ruins your entire painting. The last thing to do is to paint Usa-chan's little cute face. I did this in black and I'm not sure if I like it. Like, I like it, but then sometimes I'm like, it don't look right. Like, it doesn't. He has a very uwu face. His face is literally the uwu. But like, I don't know. It looks weird to me. So, what do you think? Did I nail it or did I fail it? As always, everything I've used or referenced, including music or videos, will be linked in the description. Please like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.